Hey, welcome back to the Corbellic Studios. I'm Corbellic. We're going to be talking about why artists stay broke. Why artists stay broke, or what do they call it? Starving artists. I never wanted to be a starving artist. I never wanted to be someone that people look down and go, "Oh, okay, you're one of those creatives, huh? You're one of those creatives that like to daydream, but you're broke." No, we are not broke, and that is not the program of what we're talking about in here. Anybody can do this. You don't need social media. You don't need an email list. You don't need funnels. You don't need any of that tech savvy stuff that they try to sell on you. None of that stuff really works anyways because you didn't even develop what your real market is. And they're telling you that you need to make paintings first to spend money to then figure out what your market is. And then by that time, you got to spend more money. No, just go to where the market is already at, and that's on eBay. They already have 185 million credit cards. They're ready to purchase your art. It's not about the talent. It's not about who you are on social media, the clicks, and all the vanity stuff that you might have done over there. They don't even know who you are. The crowd that's on eBay is not the same crowd that's on Instagram most of the time. I'm not going to generalize and say none of them at all, but most of the crowd that's on eBay, they're not into the Instagram. No, they're there to actually buy work. They're actually there to buy art. People on Instagram, they're not. So we're going to break this down because don't call me a starving artist. The idea of it makes me sick. Even just it made me not even want to do art growing up because I'm like, you're gonna be a starving artist. I was even caught up into saying stuff like that. You're gonna be broke. Nobody wants to buy it. And you know why they have us thinking this way? They brainwashed us into believing that being an artist or being a creative is that you're going to be broke and that nobody wants your artwork. So let's just break this down how we're not going to fall into that. I'm going to show you how not to fall into that, why you need to let go, and how you're going to be making money on eBay. I consistently made over $30,000 a month on eBay. And these are some of the things that I have in my program. That's one of the steps. You got to have a program. But these are some of the things that I have in my program to not fall into the steps of being a starving artist. I mean, even when I would go out and I meet somebody and they'd be like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" Right? The question, I would never go, "Oh, I'm an artist," because what's the first thing that's gonna pop in their mind? They're gonna think you broke. No, I would say something like, I'm a digital marketer. I'm in digital marketing. I do e-commerce because these things are accurate and true. These is how we run. I run off of what the algorithm is doing. I run off of different things like that. Now that I think about it, I guess that I do run off of funnels and different pages, but I do it all within eBay where the actual market is at. I'm not looking for cold cases and or code what do they call it, code sales or code leads. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Where people don't want your hot dog pancake flipping business. All right, they don't even know what it is. It doesn't matter how much money you're going to throw into the ad, they're not going to want it. The leads are already there on eBay. So let's just break it down. People paint with their ego. That's what's keeping you broke. Is your ego. Your ego is so involved in what you're painting. You believe that what you like aesthetically, what people told you in school that looks good with the symmetry in the shadow that bounces to the west and how the crescent falls of the all of that stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's your ego and what people are telling you aesthetically, oh, this is the right way to make fine art. And you're thinking of ways like that. If you're thinking like that, then you're not going to be able to paint what sells. In order for you to know what paint what sells, you're going to have to put yourself out there and make things that don't fall with you. I paint things all the time that don't really fall in line with how I feel or how I might like. I did a painting of Queen Elizabeth, right? And I put it up into my community on the eBay art community. If you're not already a part of it, click the link below so you can figure out and you can join. You can do all this stuff yourself that I'm breaking down today. But I put the painting in there, and some people were like, "Oh, the Queen Elizabeth, she's really beautiful, but I don't like her politics." I mean, I'm like, all right, I agree. I know what you're saying. I feel the same way about certain things that I paint, but I'm not going to confuse my politics with what art is and what business is, because there is somebody out there who's going to love it. So what am I going to do? Am I not going to make money because of how I feel personally with my ego and politics? If you're on that type of mindset, then you got a whole nother issue. You're not thinking like business. Are you really going to let how your personal feelings of politics or how you feel about a certain subject is going to prevent you from what you paint and make money off of it? I mean, hey, do you. I'm just letting you know that you need to break out of your business mindset. Who's to say that I like cats or dogs? You don't know that, but I paint them, right? Huh. All right. Gallery approval. A lot of times people they want to get gallery approval. You want to get gallery approval from these galleries that can't even maintain the 20 artists that they already have. They can't even sell their artwork. There's not enough people that's coming in their doors now. These galleries are closing the doors. They're just like Instagram, where they're all about the vanity of making it seem like people are coming to their business and that they have the golden book and all that. They're holding on to that name like it's the 90s, and it's not anymore. These places are closing down. There's not enough liquidity in the market. They're closing. So you're holding on to this idea, maybe one day I'm going to be this fine art gallery artist and people are going to come to my events. Yeah, they're going to come to your events and they're going to drink champagne and wine and then they're going to leave. People don't buy art at these events like that. And then you have it, you already spent all this time, all this money into these vanity projects that are large. I mean, you can still do it if you want to, and you could do that on the side of business, but don't involve that style of gallery art thinking into this. A lot of people are like, well, I can't do it because galleries aren't going to like me. And they're going galleries are already taking 50% from your commission anyways. They're taking 50% plus you don't get a chance to really build up too much of a clientele. If you do it outside of the gallery, most times they have you sign an NDA that you can't even sell your work on the outside. You can't even make money for yourself. So they're gatekeeping you, where they're saying that the only way that you can make money is if the Prince of Dubai comes in one day and he's going to look at your artwork and say, that's the piece I've been waiting for my whole life. I need that painting. Okay. When is that going to happen? When is that going to happen? Never. But let's just say if it does happen, okay, when's the next time that he's going to come in and buy your painting that he's been waiting for his whole life? Never. All right. So get out of the mindset of the gallery approval. This is 2026. Stop playing these games. Don't do it to yourself. What are we doing here? What are we talking about? All right, waiting for inspiration. You're waiting for inspiration to start? No, you're just lazy. Don't feel like you have to wait for inspiration and when I'm motivated, let me walk through the park and look at the trees and drink my seasonal spice coffee. No. Inspiration, it's backwards with us, and the psychology is backwards. Picasso had a famous line that he said. I always love bringing this up. He says, the inspiration finds you with the action. We have it mixed up. You have to do the action first, and then you feel inspired. Then you feel motivated. It already comes to you because it's already there. God already put it there. The work is already there, but God is going to reward you by you showing up. What's another thing that they say? They say that 90% of success is what? Showing up. Exactly. So what do you think that means when they're saying that? You know these things. You're just playing dumb and you want to be lazy. Don't be lazy. Just show up and everything else will follow. I promise you. Social media likes. This is the vanity stuff we're talking about. Social media likes. Who are these people? Like what? If you're posting your stuff on Facebook or any of these groups like that, you're waiting to get likes from friends and family and stuff like that. You don't even know these people and they don't even know you. You're a different person as an adult anyways. You went to high school with these people decades ago. Who cares what they think? When was the last time any of these people bought some art work from you? When was the last time that these people actually helped pay your bills? Huh? Let's be honest. Stop thinking about these people. Cut it off. Don't be worried about it. If you want to post artwork, you can. I told you, I haven't posted any artwork in 5 to 6 years. I don't care. I'm selling on eBay. I'm making the money. I don't need any of that stuff. Now, if I want to, I could, but I sold 17,000 original paintings, so I think we're good. Now, no plan or no routine. I had to learn this myself. I mean, I spent So much time, I spent so much time. I even had to hire a coach myself just to figure out a plan and routine that works for me so I could be consistent, so that I could show up, so that I could be accountable. Now, the plan that I always talk about that I have in the eBay art community is I have the 90-minute rule. 90-minute rule means no cell phones, no distractions. I show up to work at the canvas, or I show up to work at the table to pump out artwork. And during those 90 minutes, no distractions. I could do the work. Just it's 90 minutes. I never say to myself, oh, just an hour, because an hour goes by so quick, or I feel like, okay, I could do more work. And I never say 2 hours either, because if 2 hours happens, then I risk myself feeling burnt out to keep going. I force myself to give myself that break after the 90 minutes. I have two timers, one for 90 minutes and the other one just to count up on whatever blocks of work that I'm doing. If I'm doing one canvas, then I have the timer going up just to make sure that I'm working within 7 to 12 minutes. I rush it out. If it's not done within that time, then I'm on to the next one, because art can never be done. So make sure that you have a plan. Make sure that you have a routine within your schedule. Also, make sure that you have a plan and routine. What time that you show up to work? I'm going to paint on these days. The reason how you're able to build confidence and how you're able to feel confident of who you are as a person, or I apologize, the way that you're going to be able to build up discipline and confidence of who you are as a person is by you proving to yourself what you say that you're going to do. If you say that you're going to go to work at this time at 8 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. or even a little bit earlier, then just do it. It's only going to build up your muscle exercise. It's only going to build up your muscle in your brain that you're disciplined. And then you're going to be more proud of who you are. Then you're going to have the belief of what you can do. And that's another thing that we're going to be talking about is belief. You have to have belief. And the only way that you're going to have belief in what you're doing is if you commit to doing the things that you say that you're going to do. If you say that you're going to start work at a certain time, show up to work at a certain time. If you say that you're going to do this certain plan at 8 a.m. and you're going to work from, those just 90 minutes or whatever it takes for you to do 90 minutes of work before either you start your work shift or after your work shift, if you say it, then do it. But you and I both know that it doesn't feel good when you want to do something and you're not doing it. I say this all the time in my personal life. I say the only person that knows that if you're really doing what you say you're going to do is you and God. And God knows. You can lie to everybody else. You can lie to your family members. You can lie to your kids. You could even lie to yourself a little bit and say, I'm really trying. I'm showing up to work. I'm putting in these numbers. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But only you know, and God knows that you're not really committing and you're not doing the work of what you say that you were going to do and what you do when you show up. Just put the work in and you'll feel better about yourself and you will be rewarded. No volume. Build the volume up. That goes back into what we're talking about the lottery ticket effect. The lottery ticket effect only works with the volume that you're creating. If you don't have any volume, then you don't have a chance for success. Success happens by luck, but I don't believe in luck. Luck is preparation meets opportunity. Did you make yourself enough lottery tickets so that you can have the chance for success and luck? If you don't, then don't get upset that you spent those 90 minutes that we're talking about and you only created one painting, or you spent those 90 minutes and you only created two paintings, or you took a whole day where in your mind you feel like you were busy because you were busy running around, you're busy being distracted on your phone, you're busy doing other things, and you feel like you were being successful, but you weren't being successful. You weren't doing anything. Instead, you were just doing actionable items. You were doing action items, but you weren't actually working. And you know it. So if you're doing that and you're not producing volume, don't be upset that when 10 days goes by and your number is low with the auctions that you're getting, but also you're not being able to utilize the buy it now store that we talked about. Okay. Volume. Create the volume. That's why I work the way that I work so fast. It's not because it's my paint style. It's because I had to learn how to do it this way so I can make money and you either live or sink. All right. I had to live. Fear of success. This is a big thing. A lot of us, we sabotage our own success. We have some deeper issues that might be in our head subconsciously that we need to resolve. Some other things that we were told when we were younger, either to not believe in ourselves and our artwork, or even it could even be something rooting back to that you don't want to look like you're better than your peers, your coworker, your family member, your husband, your wife, your mother, your a lot of times success is based off of that, where you're scared of changing. But also changing and being successful, it also leads to responsibility. And a lot of times people are scared that, man, what if I'm successful and I'm making this money? Now people are going to be looking at me to show up the next day and have to do it all over again. It's easy for us to kind of feel like, oh, we got lucky because we were successful one day. You weren't lucky, you just put in some volume. But the scary part a lot of times is that, damn, we got to do it again. We now people are looking for us to be successful again. And that's the scary part about you're being held responsible. So don't fear success, because we're all made in the image of the creator, and we're all successful. It's all naturally there for you. Don't overthink it. Only thing that you have to worry about is just showing up. Remember, 90% of success is just showing up. You can't control anything else. Only thing that you can control is your actions about you showing up. So just show up. Just show up. Now, I'm going to close it off and say this. Broke people, they make art, and it's beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing. I love going into the galleries and looking at your artwork that nobody's buying and it's collecting dust at the top. I usually do that to a lot of the artwork I see at the top. It's got a little bit of dust on there. It's great. I love it. Now, paid people, they make systems. Put a system in place for yourself. And it doesn't have to be perfect starting off, just as long as you have a system in place. Just put something in place for yourself. Go back to where we talked about here, the routines. Make a routine for yourself with the system are. Now, the cool thing about when you have a system, and this is how I had to have my own system, and you don't even have to utilize my system. You could just try to kind of work around it, or just see if it works for you, or see what kind of things. Take notes. Try it one week. Take notes of how you felt about it, things that you would tweak into your own lifestyle, and then try a different one the next week. See how that worked. Tweak it in your own thing. And then eventually you're going to end up having a system that works for you. So to go back into saying this as well, is that a lot of times in life, the most successful people are people who are, I don't want to say dumber than you or least educated, but I see a lot of times the people who have a difficult time with this system at place are the people who are so overly educated or thinkers. You're being an overthinker. I forgot to go over this right here. You want to be perfect and you're just a thinker. If you have that problem being a thinker, then you're going to have paralysis by analysis because you're analyzing too much. You're so used to school teaching you this, school telling you that, do this, do that. So usually the people who are dumber than you, they take actions and they'll figure it out later, and that's the advantage. And usually they're already doing something. There was an old saying that was like, all right, somebody dumber than you, they're already getting stuff done right now faster than you because they're not thinking and planning stuff out like you are. Instead, they're already taking the actions. And then whatever happens later on, they'll figure it out along the way, or they'll clean up a system and plan. And that's usually how things work. So don't get caught up too much into being over analytical. All right, that's what I was gonna say. Don't get too caught up into being over analytical. And what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? What about this? What about you taking some action and you just getting the work? All right. So let's see what you're going to create. I can't wait to see what you're going to create. I hope this is kind of a pep talk to put some fire up underneath you to just put the action in. 90% is just showing up. So that's why most artists stay broke. All right. But we're not about that. Join the free eBay art community. Click the link below so you can learn how to not be broke. And then you can do this yourself. You don't even need to be an artist. You could be anybody. Anybody can do this. It's really great for college students, for if you're a senior, if you're retired, or just anybody. I wish somebody had this conversation with me. So let's just start there. I'm going to check you out in the next video, and I'll see you later.